When the aliens first invaded, they nearly destroyed us.
Hey everybody, welcome to What the Flick. Matt Atchity, Ben Mankiewicz. Small group for this film, but let's be honest, the best group.
That's why I came back.
Right. Ender's Game, the long-awaited adaptation of Orson Scott Card's novel from like the 80s, right?
Yeah, so it's an older book. And this is based on a story. This is a story about, it's after a big war with an insect-type alien that has devastated, it was a disastrous war. They got beaten back, and
the aliens were beaten back.
The aliens were beaten back, and in the aftermath of that, the humans are worried about who's going to be able to beat the aliens again.
Should they come back for another try?
Should they come back for another try? So they're training kids to be the next war hero. They're looking, they think adults may not make the decisions that they need to make, so they're looking at kids and doing what would look to now be video game type training.
Right. It seems like the idea is that because kids are so much better at video games that they can think quicker.
And so the movie stories on this, the movie focuses, and the story focuses on this kid named Ender Wiggin, who is this genius, and the geniuses get brought into this battle school, and they train up as to whether or not they're going to be great military commanders, and really they're looking to see who's going to be the next person that is worthy of commanding the Earth military fleet and defend the Earth against the alien Formic, they're called.
Let's take a look.
You see things in a way we can't. You alone can understand the enemy.
So, I hated this movie.
Really?
Fairly passionately, but with a significant caveat that I suspect if you're into this, you might like it.
What did you hate about this movie?
I hated that it was maybe the most humorless movie that I can remember in my life. And again, I'm not an idiot. I know it's not a comedy, but there is this sort of really heavy feel to it. Like there is no levity at any point. I mean, there are a couple of laugh lines in there, but the movie feels heavy and like it's taking itself incredibly seriously.
It takes itself very seriously.
I hate that.
I agree with you. I agree with you. I didn't mind this movie. Now, I've read the book. I read the book. Now, I read it like 20 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I haven't, so I don't, and it was fairly faithful, right?
It's fairly, well, it is and it isn't. There's some things that get changed. I feel like one of the things the book does that the movie doesn't, and I don't want to start nitpicking about adaptations because that way lies madness. But one of the things the movie doesn't do is I don't feel like you earn an understanding of what makes Ender so special.
No,
not at all.
The book
does that really well, right? And they try and do it in the movie. I think they try and set up, early on in the film, like you see him get in fights, and his attitude is, if I hurt this person bad enough, with the bully early on in the movie, if I hurt him bad enough, I didn't just win this fight, I won all the other fights. And so you get a sense of that and where that's going to go. And people who've read the book know where the end game is. And I don't want to spoil this, but I feel like the rest of the movie doesn't earn that. Like he gets moved up the ranks really fast, and you don't get a sense of why he is so much more successful in battle school than the other ones. Like you don't see.
No, we do because we get it only because they have Harrison Ford say it again and again and again and again. Harrison Ford is the sort of general who's going to pick the commander who's going to lead this battle that, by all appearances, when it happens, if it happens, might take 8 seconds. But I hate movies where children talk like adults. I feel like I'm watching a 6-year-old beauty pageant.
Right.
I have that same effect.
I will say that's an issue that happens in the book. And part of it is, what they set up in the book is that Ender comes into this school as this, near genius level intellect, as are all the other kids around him. And they all talk like that. They all act like little grown-ups. So I think that on that sense, I don't know that you can really paint the movie as the one at fault here when really that's something.
Okay, I got it. I mean, I'm pretty certain I would hate the book too. But it's like I don't want to watch Honey Boo Boo, and I don't want to watch this. I don't want to watch kids say Kiko, we've got to get the deflector bands in place to prevent the hex doors from slipping into irreversible cloaking.
You looked that up, didn't you?
No, I made it up, but I couldn't even remember it because it's so dumb. And everything they say is dumb. It's made up. It felt really false to me. While looking pretty cool, I mean, they set up a world that is believable, and everybody delivered these incredibly stupid lines that are just, they're not credible. But that said, this one, you know, it's always as a critic, it's really hard to separate yourself from material that is just not for you. Right. And I try very hard to do that, and I think I'm fairly successful in genres that I'm not into. I couldn't get past the Honey Boo Boo part of this. Like, I'm probably the only guy who's going to compare this movie to Honey Boo Boo. But I feel the same way. Like, I don't want to watch these children act like they're 40.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. I as somebody who reads and watches a lot of sci-fi and reads a lot of comic books,
just a loser,
right? This is a movie that I feel like wants to be a smarter version of Starship Troopers, and it doesn't. And it does. It's you know, Starship Troopers is a favorite book of mine. I think that book is great. I think the movie is really sharp and captures some of the satirical elements of the book. The movie's not perfect. That movie's got some glaring flaws. But I feel like Ender's Game is in a somewhat similar space, no pun intended, and it doesn't manage to make its points. I think it'll do well this weekend. I think fans of the book will have a reasonable level of satisfaction with the adaptation, but I don't know. I feel like this is one that would have been better served as something like a miniseries where you get more of the development of Ender over the course. You know, do something like they do with American Horror Story, right? Like burn 9 or 10 hours of going through that. I mean, obviously that's never going to happen business-wise, but I feel like cramming all of this into 2 hours doesn't. It turns it into an adventure story that doesn't serve the theme that they're trying to get to.
Yeah, I don't think they arced things fair. I never knew, I had no sense at any moment, and it was just under 2 hours, of what we were building toward.
Right.
And then once we got to the significant moment that it leads to, I was like, I don't even know why we're supposed to believe this is important.
And part of the problem is, like, as they move Ender up to the ranks, and you're supposed to just believe that, you know, in not showing you why his tactics are better and how much smarter he is than everyone else, it makes everyone else look like morons. Like,
that's right.
All of the rest of those cadets look like idiots in that movie.
And they're not.
They're not. They're all supposed to be, like, pretty damn smart. Like, they're supposed to be the best and brightest. It's just that Ender is head and shoulders above everyone else, and the movie doesn't ever earn that. Yeah,
look, I found it humorless and bleak and super awkward, and I didn't like it. So, what number did you come up with?
I think it's a decent adaptation as far as, like, visually, but I think that thematically it doesn't work that well. I'd probably give it a 5.
Yeah, all right, you were lower than I thought. I gave it a 2.5, so that pulls it up to a 3.8.
Yeah, and it's relatively high on the tomato meter right now, about 65%. It's been dropping.
It's so boring. So boring. All right, guys.
But stuff gets blown up real good.
Does it?
Yes.
Does it?
Yes.
All right.
There's some big explosions in this movie.
All right. Ender's Game. See it at your own risk.